have good audience in Punjabi also.
Acha, then you all can let's start with Punjab then, and you all can discuss it in Punjabi. How about that? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Club, and I have started with the guests who are on time, and the ones who are not. You know what to do, but they are not here. But so we're going to start. Uh, Rajiv Tulliji, we can't hear you. We could hear you fine till now. I don't know what you've done. Acha, he's gone. Ratan Shada ji, you watched the exit polls.
Yeah,
Are you surprised?
not really. I'm a little surprised by, a little more than expected trends. But I had given the same figures when people asked me privately, even in Times of India Digital, I had said that 300 plus for BJP up to 325 would be great. And overall 350, 360 should be good. 400, 400 par was more of a challenge to the opposition, and opposition bit the bit. So instead of focusing on their numbers, which they never declared in the yesterday, I think, they were only fighting the 400 ka phantom. So all the energy was, the public debate was on that only. So that way, BJP succeeded in cornering them. And as expected, I still have doubts about a few states where BJP has gone into negative, very surprised by positive. Karnataka, because we had expected a little poor results from Karnataka. And of course, Odisha, Bengal are supposed to be good. Overall, I would say that just some of the points that came to my mind was this myth of North-South divide is now will be buried this election. जैसे ही आप करेंगे नॉर्थ साउथ की बात करेंगे तो बीजेपी को कहते थे नॉर्थ की पार्टी अब साउथ में भी झंडे गाड़ने लग गई है. Years of hard work, rise of Annamalai. These are very big milestones for South. And his rise also shows that eclipse of ADMK also shows that it will now be after a very, very long time, you will have a national party countering a Dravidinist party. That happened during Kamraj time. Punjab trends are very encouraging in the sense that AAP is losing ground, and Akali Dal is losing ground. BJP and Congress are gaining ground or keeping their ground, which shows that national feeling is strong and people have not fallen for very, very negative and hateful propaganda of Khalistanis. This is for me very positive in the long run for the nation because the condition there is very bad. Punjab is in a very bad shape economically, as we know. Then we have this Bengal where I think Mamita is now on the way out. And this is her last hurrah, maybe another 5 years. Beyond that, she will not last. So that is also very positive. And Bihar, Nitishera is over. Tejasvi with his very good fight has been able to save some of the RJD blushes with some seats. Odisha Naveen era is over. On the basis on regional parties, I think family-based party system is going down because only a few have been able to survive, but they have not succeeded. Whether UP, whether Bihar. So overall, family-based parties, those who have survived are those who tied on to BJP and somehow floated through. But overall, the attraction for family-based parties is going down. And I think biggest lesson for Congress is that people don't trust only manifestos, don't trust lectures. Their own behavior in Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh, and Punjab tells people that all these promises make no sense and they will end up in weakening the state governments. So that is why the huge tall promises have not been taken in by Congress. So Congress has a huge issue of trust, of faith with the people. Instead of that, they are now actually creating ruckus saying that logon ko akal nahi hai. Some people said middle class has betrayed secularism, etc. So these are some of the points that immediately come to mind. So unless
Okay.
Congress is able to get rid of JNU left loonies, it's going to self-destruct
We'll,
itself.
yeah, we'll get to that, Ratan Shadaji. Thank you for those opening remarks. Uh, Rajiv Tulliji, I want to ask you about Punjab since you were speaking in Punjabi before we went live. I want to know, and you can speak in Punjabi. I can understand about 55%. But that has also been surprising, right? After the alliance, the breakup with the SAD, the Shiromani Akali Dal, the BJP seems to be finding its feet in Punjab. So one has to ask the question, what took them so long to go their separate ways?
Awaj.
Unmute.
अच्छा,
पंजाब की गल करते करते बोलती बंद होगी।
you'll have to get it, Rajiv ji.
वो नहीं आ
That
रही
is so
आवाज भाई
funny.
साहब, नहीं आ रही।
Rajiv ji, you'll have to log out and come back.
आपने
That's
सेंसर
the
करना
only way.
सानू। See, to come back to what you said in Punjab, see, BJP had very strong base, RSS a very strong base after partition. And after even during the earlier Khalistan agitation, RSS played a very pivotal role in resisting the Khalistanis, paid very heavy price, Shakas were attacked, scores of Swayampsevaks were killed, Hindus were killed, and they tried to push every Hindu out of Punjab, but because of RSS strong resistance to this divisive policy, the migration was stopped, and because of that, Punjab thrived again. Now there is similar attempt again. Now that so it took time, and also this alliance with Akali Dal was to keep Hindu Sikh unity in good shape, because that is the guarantee of a harmonious Punjabi society. This continuous snapping of the Akalis and their indirect support to Khalistani elements, SGPs is very negative role. All this has been working for last 30 years, creating a very negative narrative. So when this BJP was tied up with Akali Dal, all the negatives came to BJP also. So it will
Yeah.
take some time for the BJP to wash off that particular, attachment with the Akali Dal, and they paid a heavy price, because as far as I know, local BJP was told to play second fiddle to Akali Dal, so things run smoothly. So
Yeah.
they paid heavy price even during ministries. They were not given important ministries. They were not allowed to implement. So all the negativity went to BJP, and all the positivity was taken up by Akali Dal. Now that
Yeah.
thing is open, Akalis have lost the support of the people also because of huge corruption. Badal family is supposed to be the most rich politicians in North, and all that has played that part. So BJP had to have a new start. So it will take some time. It has taken some time. A lot of co-option has been done, which is good for BJP now. And now there is the earlier first generation hardcore BJP workers who are very strong on the ground is no more there. It's a rebuilding of the entire party, and that too under the shadow of Akali Dal alliance. But I think when I see the percentage, I'm very satisfied. I know that they may not win as many seats as everybody expects, but it's a very good beginning with national parties showing up better results than the regional and the anarchic parties.
And
और ये
Rajiv ji,
आगे
now that you're back, Rajiv ji, I want to ask you this question that I put to Ratan Shah, that the BJP seems to be holding its own in Punjab, which begs the question that why did it take them so long to split with the Shiromani Akali Dal?
देखिए, पंजाब में जो बीजेपी और अकाली दल का जो गठबंधन था, दैट वाज मोर ऑफ अ सोशल देन ऑफ पॉलिटिकल अलायंस. So the kind of anonymity that was being created, हिंदू और सिखों के बीच में जो एक डिवाइड क्रिएट करने की कोशिश थी, उसको ब्रिज करने के लिए एक ये अलायंस था. देखिए, अकाली दल का जो वोट है, वो आज भी वो जट सिख और वो जो टिपिकल गुरुद्वारा गोइंग काइंड ऑफ जो सिख है, वही उसका वोट बचा है अभी. उसके अलावा और बहुत ज़्यादा वोट नहीं है. उसमें से भी स्प्लिट हो गया. तो उसमें से भी बहुत सारा वोट जो है, शायद वो जत्थेबंदियों के थ्रू, ये जो किसान जत्थेबंदियां हैं, उनके माध्यम से वो जो सारा वोट है, वो कहीं ना कहीं अकाली दल के आम आदमी पार्टी के पीछे आकर के खड़ा हुआ है. पहली बात. दूसरी बात ये है कि पंजाब में बीजेपी अगर पिछले असेंबली इलेक्शन से पहले, कुछ समय पहले, 3, 4, 5, 6 महीना पहले अगर ये निर्णय कर लेती कि उसको अकाली दल के साथ नहीं लड़ना है, तो शायद आम आदमी पार्टी इतनी सीट्स नहीं लेकर आ पाती जितनी आम आदमी पार्टी की सीट्स हैं. आम आदमी पार्टी ने केवल वहां उस समय जो वैक्यूम था, वो वैक्यूम फिल किया है. बीजेपी की प्रेजेंस होती तो प्रोबेबली बीजेपी वो वैक्यूम फिल कर देती, और आज पंजाब में भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक अच्छे नंबर्स में उनके एमएलए भी होते, जो अभी शायद 2 या 3 शायद एमएलए है. एक पठानकोट से है, 1-2 और हैं. जो अभी गुरदासपुर के एमपी है दिनेश बब्बू, वो भी शायद बहुत क्लोज वो इलेक्शन हारे थे, जो लास्ट इलेक्शन उन्होंने एमएलए का लड़ा था. तो वो निर्णय लेने में पंजाब में भी देरी हुई, वो निर्णय लेने में 2013-14 में दिल्ली में भी देरी हुई, जिसके कारण से आम आदमी पार्टी इतनी बड़ी पार्टी बनी। दोनों जगह पर अगर निर्णय समय पे ले लिया होता, आज दिल्ली में भी आम आदमी पार्टी इतनी बड़ी नहीं होती जितनी है, और पंजाब में तो बिल्कुल नहीं होती जितनी भी बड़ी वो पार्टी आज है। कुछ और बातें हैं, जो ये नॉर्थ साउथ डिवाइड, और बीजेपी नॉर्थ की पार्टी है, साउथ की पार्टी नहीं है, तो कर्नाटक में रूल किया, पांडिचेरी में किया, कहीं ना कहीं तमिलनाडु में एक आध एमपी रहा, केरल में एक आध शायद एक आध एमएलए भी रहा बीजेपी का, एक आध कासरगोड वगैरह में कहीं कोई एक आध कॉर्पोरेटर भी रहा। तो वो नॉर्थ साउथ वाला एक वो नैरेटिव है, वो कंटिन्यूसली एक बात को प्रोपोगेट कर रहे हैं, बीजेपी इज नॉर्थ पार्टी, बीजेपी इज नॉर्थ पार्टी। एंड सम ऑफ कुछ रतन जी अपने मतलब सीधा सीधा अपने पे ना ले, मगर बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ से भी बोलने लगते हैं, नहीं साहब देखो हमने वहां 2 सीट जीत ली, हमने वहां, अरे भाई कर्नाटक इज एज गुड और एज बैड एज गुजरात इज फॉर बीजेपी। आई मीन थोड़ा सा इस बार का इलेक्शन वो भी कर्नाटक में इंटरनल बीजेपी की गलतियों के कारण से ही आज कर्नाटक जिस स्थिति में वो है नहीं तो कर्नाटक में भाजपा की सरकार इस बार भी होती शायद। और थोड़ा सा जब ये जो क्या है, मुझे शायद उसमें ये लगता है कि कई बार बीजेपी कुछ निर्णय लेने में, जैसे अब बीआरएस का उदय जो हुआ, वो भाजपा की कॉस्ट पे हुआ। बीआरएस का उदय तेलंगाना में, मैं वहां के अपने बहुत सारे स्थानीय कार्यकर्ताओं से, लोगों से जब बात करता हूं, या वहां जो संघ के लोग हैं उनसे बात करता हूं, तो उनको कहना है कि हमारा बहुत सारा कार्यकर्ता है जो बीआरएस जिस समय स्टेट बनी, भाजपा एक ठीक स्टैंड नहीं ले पाई, टीडीपी के साथ में लगी रही, उस कारण से वो बीआरएस में चले गए, वहां से जीते भी, वहां से एमएलए भी बने। मगर अब जैसे ही ये बीआरएस वहां से मुझे लगता है कि सत्ता से बाहर हुई है, आप वहां भी एक्सोडस देखोगे। आप देखोगे इस बार यदि भाजपा एमपी अच्छा करती है, इस चुनाव में लोकसभा चुनाव में अच्छा करती है, तो अगली बार विधानसभा में प्रिंसिपल ऑपोजिशन पार्टी या एकदम सरकार बनाने के बहुत क्लोज आपको बीजेपी तेलंगाना में भी दिखेगी। तो कुल मिलाकर के ये जो पूरा चुनाव है, एक महाराष्ट्र छोड़ करके, महाराष्ट्र में कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, क्योंकि रतन जी वहां है, वही समझा पाएंगे। मतलब इसलिए समझ नहीं आ रहा क्योंकि रतन जी वहां, ऐसा नहीं है, रतन जी वहां है इसलिए समझा पाएंगे, ये मैं कह रहा हूँ कि महाराष्ट्र में इतना कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट क्यों हुआ, या इतना कंफ्यूजन है तो इसका सोल्यूशन क्या है। बाकी कुल मिलाकर के देखिए, मैं अभी एक डेटा और देख रहा था, मैं उस पर एक छोटी सी एक बात कहकर अपनी बात पूरी करता हूँ। कुल 63 करोड़ वोट पड़ा है इस चुनाव में, 63 करोड़। एंड टू योर सरप्राइज, this figure matches the number of people who contributed to श्री राम जन्मभूमि निधि समर्पण अभियान। 19 करोड़ परिवार और 63 करोड़ लोगों ने श्री राम जन्मभूमि निधि समर्पण अभियान में कंट्रीब्यूट किया था। चंपत राय जी की ऑफिशियल स्टेटमेंट है, और पूरे देश में 63 करोड़ वोट ही हुआ है। तो ये जो फिगर आ रही है, शायद इससे ज्यादा भी बीजेपी आगे जा सकती है, मतलब हो सकता है कि शायद चली जाए, मगर जो फिगर आ रही है अभी तक, वो सब मुझे लगता है कि उसमें बहुत ज्यादा कोई सोचने या दिमाग लगाने का स्कोप है नहीं।
अच्छा, मैं अजय जी से ये सवाल फिर करूंगी। अजय जी, आपको क्या लग रहा है कि राम मंदिर का इम्पैक्ट इतना भारी हुआ है इस इलेक्शन में? क्योंकि ज्यादातर विशेषज्ञ कह रहे हैं कि वो उतना इम्पैक्ट नहीं हुआ है। इंडिया अलायंस के लोग तो कह ही रहे हैं वो कि राम मंदिर तो लोग भूल गए और इसका कोई बीजेपी को कोई फायदा तो नहीं मिलेगा।
Let me just put it in a slightly different context. I think that will be a better way to look at the entire Ram Mandir construction and Pran Pratishtha. The Pran Pratishtha took place on 22nd of January. Had it taken place even 2 months later, you would have seen the euphoric impact on a visible sense in terms of voters. The psyche and the overall presentation of an Indian voter on a generic sense is that a euphoria usually lasts for about a month and a half. Thereafter, everybody gets back to business. Having said that, Ram Temple has gone into the subconscious. It has been an issue which has long survived. It's been more than 2 decades that the entire movement has continued and sustained itself in the mind space of average Hindu-minded families. From across Bengal till Tamil Nadu, wherever you go, including Assam, Ram Temple has been an issue which is, जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, आस्था से जुड़ा मसला है। इस पर राजनीति किसी को एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं। So This subconscious impact has definitely paid dividends to the BJP. To what extent and in what form, obviously, we'll know much better on 4th once the results are out. But definitely, Ram Temple has acted, and the Pran Pratishtha, the entire euphoria which was there for approximately 15 days prior to the temple and about 4 to 5 days post the Pran Pratishtha, that has sustained itself in the psyche. But can you really put that as one of the key issues of the elections? I would humbly beg to differ. Because despite the first phase emphasis on Ram Temple by the BJP leaders, effectively the messaging on Ram Temple did not carry forward as much. And I guess that must be part of their strategy. I'm sure Tuliji would have a better insight in this. But the messaging was not as strong as one would have anticipated it to be. And I, for one, believe that it was good that the messaging was not harped upon by the BJP. Some things are left better undecided or unreinforced time and again because it is already there in your consciousness. So if you
Okay.
reinforce it again and again, it actually acts against you.
All right.
What I
Tuliji, you
find,
wanted to say something?
yes, I mean, I will just conclude. See, what I think is that apart from the fact that we may talk about various issues which are part of the narrative, something which we all presumed post the second phase of the poll, that there seems to be no unifying thought, unifying motive, or unifying impeller for a voter to go to the polling booth and poll, should now be written off. Because, as most of us really believe, it is only after the elections have been completed that you realize whether there was a wave or there is not a wave. To pre-decide that there is no wave is a fallacy which was promoted by the India Alliance and also by the so-called experts who were slightly tilted towards the thought that, okay, there is nothing here, everything is happening on the ground, it's just based on local issues, caste equations and formulations are the only way in which the elections are happening. This is not 14, this is not 19. This is a narrative built up by the opposition. This election was only and only about Narendra Modi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yesterday also, while we
Advaita,
discussed, I had said this.
Tuliji wants to come in and quickly, Tuliji, let's keep it short. And then Ratan Sharda ji.
Very
or
short.
let
Shortly.
Dipankar come while
Keval-
I'll take up the RSS BJP issue once Dipankar has spoken.
Okay. Over
There's a
2,000
question
viewers.
there.
Please like the stream, please.
दो लाइंस, केवल दो लाइंस. 2019 में भी मैं मीटिंग्स लेता था, छोटी छोटी मीटिंग्स या कार्यकर्ताओं को मोबिलाइज करने के लिए मीटिंग्स लेता था. तो सिंपल होता था साहब, जो पिछला अटल जी का कार्यकाल पूछते थे तो आप कहते थे कि मेजोरिटी नहीं थी. इस बार तो पूरी मेजोरिटी थी. हमारा कौन सा इशू हुआ? राम मंदिर नहीं हुआ, 370 नहीं हुआ, यूसीसी नहीं हुआ, जो 3 संघ के या आरएसएस के जो 3 प्राइम मुद्दे थे. इस इलेक्शन में सरप्राइजिंगली देयर वाज नॉट अ सिंगल क्वेश्चन बीइंग आस्क्ड अबाउट दिस कि राम मंदिर नहीं हुआ या the only question thing. Look, BJP is a cadre based party और भाजपा और संघ जब अपने कार्यकर्ताओं को मोबिलाइज कर लेता है तो चुनाव जीतना चलाना थोड़ा आसान हो जाता है. तो इस बार कार्यकर्ता के पास कोई बहाना नहीं था काम करने के लिए या सवाल नहीं था पूछने के लिए. मेरा केवल इतना ही ऐड करना है इसमें. मैंने जितनी मीटिंग्स भी ली है, किसी एक कार्यकर्ता ने ये नहीं कहा कि साहब हमारा कोई इशू रह गया या इशू कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ. ये शिकायत जरूर आती थी साहब, वो बीजेपी वाले जो है ना, वो अभी उतना ठीक काम नहीं कर रहे हैं जितना उनको करना चाहिए. वो सिर्फ मोदी जी पे डिपेंडेंट है. उसके अलावा और कोई शिकायत.
ये तो है. And this is a professor, this has been quite significant to observe that this is anecdotal, but in my own area in 2014 2019 BJP did come out, and interact with voters and things of that sort. This year, nothing. And from what I've checked with a lot of other friends and people I know, it's been a similar thing. Is the BJP getting complacent because they have a winner like Prime Minister Modi?
Look, when you have a figurehead like that, it is normal to get complacent. But I think it depends from state to state. For example, in Assam, who was the one who led the campaign? It was Himanta Biswa Sharma who led that particular campaign. In UP, you had Yogi also doing his bit. So wherever local leadership has been strong, and not just local leadership, for example, in Madhya Pradesh, the new chief minister is still to settle in. but you have a well-oiled organization and machinery that will work nonetheless. I would say the same is in Gujarat. The same possibly is not true, say, in a state like Rajasthan, whereas Devendra Fadnavis will lead the charge in Maharashtra. Of course, to top it all, you have Modi. So I think it depends from state to state. And I think the BJP also realizes that in those states where they have a strong local leadership led by charismatic persons, it becomes that much easier to handle an election than otherwise. The demographics of Assam, for example, does not support a BJP victory that easily. But because you have a Himanta Biswa Sarma who asks crucial questions, pointed questions of groups that are sometimes antagonistic to one another, he is able to put together that particular coalition. On the other hand, in West Bengal, we have to depend on the sins of Mamata Banerjee and the mobilizing power and the charisma of Narendra Modi actually to do what needs to be done. Now, if West Bengal becomes the rule for the BJP, then it will be difficult. Sooner or later, after all, the Prime Minister has now crossed 77. So Narendra Modi is not going to be around for much, much longer than this. You see, then they will have a problem. They need to bring in charismatic people, and the fact remains charismatic people are coming in. I mean, Tamil Nadu is a very good example. After a long time, you have a person who basically breaches the comfortable AIDMK-DIMK debate. On the other hand, look at the upside. This the demand for a party like the BJP, as Ratan Sharda ji and Rajiv Tuli ji mentioned, in Punjab, the Akali BJP coalition, in a sense, kept the BJP in check. Now that the BJP has broken through, and by the way, this is fortuitous, it is the Akalis who actually broke the alliance. And now what do you find? That the Akalis are way back and the BJP is number 2 in terms of vote share. My fear is the following. In Assam in 1999 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP had come second both in terms of seats and vote share. And in 2001 elections, the national leadership forced the BJP local Assam unit to enter into an alliance with the AGP as BJP as a junior partner. And that held back the BJP for 15 years. I think what has become absolutely clear is local BJP units have to be encouraged, to take the battle. Of course, there is also a time for everything. Rajiv Tuliji
Professor, Professor, we're going to move faster on this topic.
Yeah.
It's just very quick intervention. Is really first of all, Prime Minister 73, not 77. So just want to correct
As
that.
also shocked.
And as far as I think,
77. I know
as far
77.
You said 77.
No, I said he's getting on in years. I mean, he's
No.
You
said
said
77.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
so that's a fact check there. And secondly, I think, if someone
will
is
be happy to hear that.
if someone is physically fit and mentally sound, I don't think age should be a disqualifier, in my personal
That is
opinion.
not the issue. That is not the issue. To
limit
depend on the
itself.
Prime Minister, all the time to get
I
your
agree.
votes for you,
I
national
agree.
elections or state elections, that is foolish. That should not happen.
I agree.
Okay.
And
Now-
that is happening increasingly. And in fact, the
Yes.
examples that you've used, like Tamil Nadu, UP and Assam, you have very dynamic leaders, true, and you also have a lot of conflict in terms of the BJP. The demographics don't work, or there's a criminalization of the polity. So all of those things, which I think also help these leaders kind of encourage them or motivate them to come out strong. But Pallavi,
One brief point. Rajiv Tuli talked about, we could have come to power in Telangana a long time ago. I think there's a time for everything. I mean, in Andhra Pradesh, BJP did win seats in collaboration with the TDP, but we're never a mass party. Sometimes you have to wait for somebody to do foolish things. The BRS ruled Andhra Pradesh, the Telangana for 10 years. They did foolish things. Now, see, the question is the only binding thing was Telangana state, which they got, and they were family. There's a time limit to which you can encash it, and once the BRS is disintegrating, everything is coming to the BJP. The same thing we saw in Assam. AGP disintegrated, its vote share shifted to the BJP. And of
yeah.
course, Punjab excites me for similar reasons. A lot of
Okay.
people who
Professor, we'll
wanted
get
to
back
do-
to you.
Sure.
Pallavi has become a bit of a diva after her PM Modi interview, and I'm seeing
Oh,
that
yes.
it's
No,
25 and a
these are
half minutes.
baseless allegations, Advaita.
Is
He
it looking
hadn't
very
required
fresh?
for
Now
25
look at
minutes.
Rajiv Tulli ji. Yeah, he's bursting back up.
कौन है राजीव जी? ये पीछे क्या किया आपने?
आपका स्वागत।
आपका स्वागत तो ऐसे ही करना है
अरे
ना।
आपका स्वागत किया, आपने संडे क्लब का झंडा बुलंद किया कलकत्ता के ट्रक पे खड़े होकर प्रधानमंत्री के साथ।
But
She's
you know, I know
looking pleased at the
Pallavi,
punch.
I don't want her to throw a tantrum ki you've not come to me as yet and it's already 26
Where
minutes.
did I
So
throw it after? I'm quietly 26
Pallavi, what
minutes.
is happening with Rahul Gandhi? Why is he quoting rap songs? And you know, he seems in a very aggressive, angry mood.
Yeah, see, he's actually quoting a song by Sidhu Moosewala, 295. That was a very famous song of Sidhu Moosewala. I mean, roughly, basically talking about the fact that if you speak the truth, then 295 aap pe lagu hoga. So 295 is one of the laws under which, you know, like religious beliefs, tolerance, it's a
Blasphemy.
That's what Rahul Gandhi is using, that word of 295. He gave that soundbite also today. And they are very aggressive in the last 24 hours, especially since the exit polls have come. So they've completely trashed it. Actually, that meeting which took place yesterday at Mr. Kharge's residence, all of them, they had sheets of paper and they actually broke down that how each and every exit poll was getting it wrong as far as the state-wise thing. And there were bloopers which they are trying to point out. So they are very convinced that it's going to be 295 minimum. It could be more than that, but 295 is the number they've given for themselves. It reminds me of the 272, remember, of Sonia Gandhi also, कि मेरे पास 272 है and that kind of stuff. So they are very clear. They've been going to election commission. What they've already started to say is that apart from the EVM hacking, even the counting procedure is going to be fraudulent. I mean, if you remember, Jairam Ramesh ने कल ही ये बोला था कि 150 DMs has been called up by the Home Minister, clear-cut instructions on how the counting goes. So they've already pretty much got their narrative clear. In case we don't win, then we are going to blame, of course, the EVM, but more than that, we are going to blame the kind of counting which is going on. So I think their thing is very much set. So don't be too surprised when this is what they're going to say in case they don't lose or the exit poll numbers come out very, very bad.
But Pallavi, that brings me to the question, very seriously. Since 2014, every election lost, be it national or the state assembly elections. This is precisely what the opposition has been voicing, especially the Congress. There's nothing new about it.
Yeah.
How long do they think that they can hide themselves behind this fig leaf? In case,
Forever.
then let's also agree to the fact that the parties in opposition in India have abdicated the responsibility of even being called an opposition party.
See, here's
Because
the thing.
how long can you keep absolving yourself of your own efficiencies, of your own indecisiveness, of your own vagaries, and you can keep blaming the central government for all the ills?
No, not just the central government, the media. I mean, look at the way they talk to the media, especially Rahul Gandhi. It's now become a little personal. Always angry, trashing them, condescending. It's now getting a little over the top. But see, I mean, I don't understand them. First of all, in Telangana, Karnataka, they were making the noises, EVMs are being hacked during the election process. Mum's the word once they won in these two states. If you are saying that the EVMs are being hacked, the polling procedure is a fraud, then how are you giving yourself a 295 number? So you are contradicting yourself because at somewhere down the line, you're acknowledging that the EVMs may work. So if they win, and if they actually get 295, will the EVM stop being hacked? Will the polling procedure or the counting procedure be fine? I mean, I don't
We've seen what happened.
If
We've
they
seen that
win,
happen.
it won't matter.
Every time they win, the EVM issue is dropped automatically. So they've done that. They've brazened it out. But
Did
I
you
think
see
what
that
they're trying
data
to
which Supriya Srinath put up on the
no,
YouTube views of the BJP, the Congress, the Prime Minister, Rahul Gandhi's speeches and stuff like that? I mean, which world do these jokers really live in? I'm sorry to use
Yeah,
the word
they
jokers,
did a press
but
conference,
these
a
jokers
proper
really live in
press
some
conference.
stratosphere which doesn't belong to the Earth. They either live on Mars or maybe
I
Pluto.
was
There's no sunlight at all.
But
Advaita.
Ajay, the fact is that your social media attractions need not necessarily translate into votes. Their
Yeah.
argument is that in 2014, if you give credit to the Modi factor by saying that the social media traction he had helped him, yes, it did help him, but that does help you initially. And that inquisitive thing, you want to watch it, you want to do it. You don't completely vote on the basis of your Instagram, YouTube hits don't necessarily mean that many number of votes are going to you. I mean, there was a full-fledged Congress press conference, and the reason why they did that press conference, I'm going to talk later, only after the 4th June happens. It was a battle for relevance. It was a battle to prove oneself, but it was laughable because it's just a day before, I think, the counting. No, the day before the last phase of polling. It is
Yes.
your way of trying to influence the voters by saying, look, these are the kind of impressions we have, and therefore this is the mood of the nation. And within 24 hours, the government came out with data, and it was not even the government. There was some international media report which pointed out that how they were AI engineered and there were bots who were actually peddling this kind of impressions and traction on the social media. And they had their connect to Israel and China and so on and so forth. Again, here they'll cry foul. They'll say, Dekho, this is again witch hunt and all. How much and how often and till when?
yeah. Yeah, and
Advaita,
I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by the YouTube thing because there is like a slowing down of subscribers and things like that on channels that are pro the government. So it's interesting to see that happening parallelly. Basically, what happens across social media platforms. But you
Advaita,
see
if you
the
look at
so-called one second, Ratanji. You see the so-called leftist channels really blossoming and blooming in terms of the number of subscribers. So that's very interesting. But go ahead, Ratanji.
See, bots have played a big role in promoting this left social media. We know that now AI report has come out from the open AI, how they have played with the numbers, how the bots are very active. Leave that aside. Simple example is that whenever a YouTube or a social media celebrity has fought an election, he or she has come to grief. They have not even been able to save the deposit despite millions of followers and lakhs of followers. So social media itself is nothing. Social media will work on the ground. That is what gives you strength. Just on social media, it's like a castle in the air. This has been very aptly proved by so many unsuccessful bidders who thought, oh, I got 1 million followers, I'll get some votes. They don't even get 1,000 votes. So it is very difficult to claim that unless you had worked on the field. Problem is that Congress leaders have become all social media creatures. They are on Twitter, they are on Facebook, they are on social media, on YouTube, but they are not on the field. And coming to that not being on field, I can tell you this talk about BJP, RSS, etc. In Mumbai, I called up individual BJP leaders, local, Lok Sabha level, and what is the program of the candidate in my constituency? It is Ujjwal Nikam. There was no response. Suddenly, I would get a message from some third local worker that is coming tomorrow. So this is a issue which is purely BJP issue because RSS people or normal activists are not supposed to get into the planning of the candidates program. There was none. Reaching out to people, none. In my area, the local worker did not get a printed list of the booth till the last moment. He said even after election, मुझे अब तक नहीं मिला. That is one part. Definitely, there is a kind of complex. They are complicated. There is no doubt about it. There are people who are working very hard at the same time. But at the root level, yes, there was slowdown. There was in many areas people didn't work. In many areas where you very high voting percentage in tough areas like West Bengal, etc. Definitely, everybody put in their mind whether BJP or local people or RSS. Coming to what Rajiv ji talked about RSS, see RSS have been briefed very clearly that you will ask for Shat Pratishat Matdan, 100% voting. This movement started in 2014. And we see since 2014, the voting percentage had gone up and gone down only marginally. Everybody has gone up. That is the kind of public awareness that RSS has done even this time. Rajesh will give more figures to you. I think more than 20,000 small meetings in Delhi. हाँ जी बोलिए आप बोलिए 40,000
1,20,000 मीटिंग हुई है सर
You Delhi
देश भर में
1,20,000 नहीं
देश
दिल्ली
दिल्ली ओनली
दिल्ली
दिल्ली
only
1,20,000 meetings
हाँ जी
only.
1,20,000
yes
small
these are
drawing
small
room
meetings जहाँ
15
20-25 लोग
20
आते
people
हैं
Wow.
हाँ बम्बई में जो मैंने एक कॉन्फ्रेंस का सुना जहाँ पीयूष गोयल थे वहाँ 20,000 मीटिंग हो चुकी थी
ये
So,
संघ की
these
बात
are the
कर रहे हैं ना आप?
हाँ जी
सीधा
हाँ जी
सीधा संघ और संघ एफिलिएट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस
तो जो
हाँ.
लोग बोलते हैं कि संघ के लोग काम नहीं कर रहे भूल जाते हैं हमारा काम लोगों को जागरण करना है हमारा काम वोट स्लिप बांटना नहीं है और जो नड्डा जी ने कहा सही कहा दे हैव गॉट ह्यूज आर्मी ऑफ देयर ओन दे हैव 11 करोड़ मेंबर्स दे हैव गॉट वर्कर्स एट बूथ लेवल आई ओनली पॉइंटेड आउट वेयर बूथ वर्कर्स और लोकल वर्कर्स डिड नॉट एक्चुअली वर्क यू नो बीइंग वेरी हैप्पी दैट मोदी जी सब देख लेंगे 400 पार हो जाएगा बट एक्चुअली ऑन द फील्ड आरएसएस डन इट्स जॉब BJP workers where they knew there is a big challenge, they worked very hard. Look at Gujarat, for example. वहाँ का हिंदुत्व पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ बन गया है इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ साइकी ऑफ गुजरात इट इज अ फेसलेस इलेक्शन ना किसी को चीफ मिनिस्टर से लेना है ना किसी को लोकल कैंडिडेट से लेना है मोदी जी है जो आएगा उसको वोट देना है एज सिंपल एज दैट इन महाराष्ट्र पीपल से कमल कुठे आहे वेर इज कमल now there is an alliance Tuliji talked of alliance it's a quadrangular alliance you have NCP on both the sides you got Shiv Sena on both the sides Asli Shiv Sena or so-called Asli that they believe Sharad Pawar Senior has a different symbol. Uddhav Thackeray has a different signal symbol. So there is two Shiv Senas, there are two NCPs, there are two Congress because many Congress people went to BJP. So the subtle confusion when people went to booth, भैया वोट किसको देना है? Symbol क्या है मेरा? ये भी लोग address नहीं कर पाए. Whether Shiv Sena, whether BJP. So this confusion at the voter level makes the prediction of Maharashtra very difficult. India Today gave a very good, count for BJP alliance. Some people did not give. So things will become clear only after the election because this is a confusion created primarily by BJP, unfortunately, because they are the one draw the alliances. And how it turns will only time will tell. It will the impact will be also in coming days, depending on what the result is. So when you see there are too many cooks, definitely you think they spoil the broth, and that might happen or might not happen depending on the pull of Modi ji. Clearly, that's the only thing that will keep them apart. Because
Ajay ji,
some people are saying.
One second, Ratan Shada ji. Let me just go to Ajay ji also. Ajay ji, I want to ask you this because you're, of course, been on the ground. You've tracked elections through the decades. We are using anecdotal evidence. Did you detect this also, a little flagging in enthusiasm in the cadre of the BJP this time around? And how much of it do you think has to do with the influx or the induction of many people who were on the opposite side of the aisle from them for many years? I mean, this is a human question. So
it's a brilliant question in the sense that I have been trying to resolve this particular side or aspect of 2024 elections to a great extent, and I'm sure Tuliji and Shadaji would be also able to make me understand. These are questions which come to my mind when the era of Advani ji and Vajpayee ji was very predominantly there on the political scene. The first and the foremost thing that came about BJP is a party with a difference. And how was BJP different from a Congress? It was a cadre-based party where people believed in an ideology. That ideology came through their association with either the Sangha Parivar or the affiliates thereafter. And that belief manifested in a kind of a community. And that community fostering was seen across the social spectrum. So here was a movement which was not just a kind of a political assertion of power, but a party which was also trying to transform the society and making it aware into the vagaries of the past. From there, cut to 2019, not in 2014, but 2019. Thereafter, Prime Minister Modi becomes larger than life. He's bigger than the party. And thereafter, the BJP stalwarts who used to be also part of it, the spectrum of the BJP leaders, they suddenly shrink. That space shrinks massively. And then comes the new proposition that winnability is the factor. And winnability decides who has to be given a ticket for the parliamentary election. Prior to 2014, it was how long have you been associated with us? Do you know our ideology? Do you understand what BJP stands for? Today it is, can you win an election? Let's face it, there are more than 120 candidates today who are on BJP ticket who have migrated from other political parties. These political leaders are not BJP oriented leaders. They are not RSS preferred leaders. Hemant Biswa Sharma is the only chief minister who stands his own ground and is treated as more than an RSS worker. But you cannot say the same about Jyotiraditya Scindia. You cannot say the same about various politicians, RSN Singh and others in UP. So what is BJP doing? Is BJP the same which is stood by the very concept of it's a party with a difference? Today I find that there is hardly any difference between the 80s Congress and the 2024 BJP. It is structured by the face of the leader. The leader is fighting elections everywhere. The cadre is unhappy and dissatisfied, as Tuliji has said. And it is evident since 2018, the cadre has been unhappy.
Okay.
Yeah, but by the same yardstick, Ajay, even the Congress is no longer the same. I mean, the
I
Congress
didn't say this, the
agreed.
cadre is unhappy. I never said this, the cadre is unhappy.
Yeah,
Cadre
Tuliji,
questions,
The
that is
Congress
different.
which I covered.
Unhappy in the sense,
Ajay ji.
Tuliji, unhappy in the sense, see, please, let's not go literally by the word of it. Unhappy in the sense, they find a disconnect. See, it is difficult to approach leaders many a times. It is difficult to put your points across. That's the sense I have been getting. I may be absolutely wrong. Maybe I'm talking to the wrong people.
Anecdotal. I'll give you one or two examples. Then Ratanji have written 3 books on RSS. It's progressive unfoldment and everything. He'll be more able to explain it in a better way. संघ के एक बहुत वरिष्ठ अधिकारी जयराम रमेश जी को एक फ्लाइट में मिले, दोनों दिल्ली से नागपुर गए, दोनों की सीट साथ में थी, दोनों की लगातार बात हो रही थी। जब नागपुर में दोनों उतरे तो उन्होंने कहा, जयराम जी आप आइए, संघ कार्यालय यहीं पास में ही है, आपको एक कप चाय पिलाते हैं। जयराम जी ने कहा, वैसे क्या बात कर रहे हो, तूफान आ जाएगा, मुझे पार्टी से निकाल देंगे। तो उन्होंने कहा, हमारे यहाँ पर ऐसा संकट नहीं है, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं को लगेगा कि हम जयराम जी को स्वयंसेवक बना रहे हैं, आप चले तो हमारे यहाँ कोई संकट नहीं है। तो संघ का स्वयंसेवक और उसकी विचारधारा
देखिए इसका डर तो होगा, अगर संघ के ऑफिस में कोई कांग्रेस का आदमी चला गया तो उसकी तो डेथ बाई बुडुंगा होना चाहिए।
मैं आपको बहुत बड़े आदमी का
मैं बस तुली जी आपको फैक्ट चेक कर दूं, ये वेटिंग लाउंज में हुआ था, प्लेन में नहीं।
साथ में थे दोनों फ्लाइट में साथ ही थे।
Let me add to that story. Very interesting story. I am talking of way back. So Congress not changed. Raju Bhaiya, the 4th RSS chief, when he was Vibhag Pracharak of UP, he used to meet Lal Bahadur Shastri very regularly, kind of family relations. And Shastri ji would, just taunt him, क्या करोगे, मीटिंग करोगे, बोलोगे कितने मुसलमान मारने हैं, मुसलमान कहाँ रहते हैं, वगैरह वगैरह। He said ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, हम केवल शाखा की बात करते हैं, ऐसा करिए शास्त्री जी, आप हमारी मीटिंग में आइए। शास्त्री जी ने टाल दिया। Then if we went to meet him, तो शास्त्री जी ने कहा, देखो ऐसा है कि मैं जब आपके आऊंगा तो मेरा तो सारा बवाल मच जाएगा, मेरे ऊपर लोग उंगलियां उठाएंगे। तो शास्त्री जी, नॉट जयराम रमेश, नॉट अ वेरी लाइट पर्सन, शास्त्री जी। तो शास्त्री सेड मेरा तो कांग्रेस से बुरा हाल हो जाएगा। तो रज्जू भैया ने कहा, मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं आपके आऊंगा तो मेरे ऊपर कोई शक नहीं करेगा। सो द ट्रस्ट का जो पहला फैक्टर है ना, कि मैं अपने सिद्धांतों में पक्का हूं, मैं कहीं जाऊंगा तो मैं डाइल्यूट नहीं होगा, मैं नहीं बिकूंगा, ये संघ को पता है कि सबको मिलना है। पर अनफॉर्चुनेटली कांग्रेस में, कम्युनिज्म में, आपने बात की महाराष्ट्र में इतनी जबर से अपार्थाइड कहीं नहीं है जितनी महाराष्ट्र में। महाराष्ट्र में कोई भी एडिटर अगर उसको संघ का टैग लगा है, कभी चीफ एडिटर नहीं बन पाएगा। इवन टुडे चैनल के अंदर आप चैनल हेड नहीं बन सकते। अगर कोई बना, आपको एक उदाहरण दूंगा, नाम नहीं लूंगा, लोग समझ जाएंगे। एक काफी संघ के नजदीक का एडिटर था एक टीवी चैनल में, उसने शरद पवार का इंटरव्यू लिया जिसमें शरद पवार ने बहुत गड़बड़ कर दी, एंड देन व्हेन इट बिकेम इट ब्लो इनटू वेरी बिग यू नो कंट्रोवर्सी, उन्होंने उस चैनल को कहा कि ये यूट्यूब ये जो इंटरव्यू इसको उड़ा दो। दिस एडिटर सेड इंटरव्यू तो ऑलरेडी हो चुका, इंटरव्यू ऑलरेडी सब जगह जा चुका, अब मैं क्या उड़ाऊंगा, मैं नहीं उड़ाऊंगा। दैट चैप वाज रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम द चैनल। दिस इज व्हेन शरद वाज नॉट इन पावर। I know of socialist party leaders who would not allow it. Very strong lobby of socialist. जहां संघ के आदमी को कहीं जगह ही नहीं मिल सकती, और प्रचारक, after he became an editor, he took away all the signs of RSS. He never went to Shakha, nowhere. But he never became more than sub editor or assistant editor. ये महाराष्ट्र की हालत है परसिक्यूशन की। दिल्ली में भी होता होगा, मैं तो बंबई में रहता हूँ इसलिए मैं बता सकता हूँ। एक बात, दूसरे, लेट मी प्ले द डेविल्स एडवोकेट।
बॉलीवुड में भी होता है, मैं भी बोल दूं।
एग्जैक्टली, बॉलीवुड में होता है, मैं जानता हूँ। आप आज भी फुल बीजेपी को सो कॉल्ड कंट्रोल होने के बाद, बीजेपी ना तो किसी फिल्म को फाइनेंस करवाती है, ना सेंसर में पास होने के लिए मदद करती है, सारा स्ट्रगल होने के बाद बिना फिल्म देखे कभी रेकमेंड करती है, नहीं करती। सो देयर इज सेंस ऑफ disconnect with the cultural feed, as far I can say very openly. Yes, there are efforts. Hopefully, they will learn the importance of cinema. They will also learn that they should not allow their own people or their supporters to be sidelined or persecuted in the film industry. वो एक बात। दूसरी बात, लेट्स प्ले द डेविल्स एडवोकेट। अडवाणी जी बहुत अच्छे थे, वाजपेयी जी बहुत अच्छे थे, बहुत प्योरिटी थी आइडियोलॉजी की, बहुत अच्छा काम किया। 2004 में सब अच्छाई के बाद हार गए। उसके बाद 10 साल बीजेपी ने भुगता, 10 साल देश ने भुगता, और जो नेगेटिव हो सकता सब कुछ नेगेटिव, टेररिस्ट अटैक्स, स्टेफरन टेरर, persecution of RSS people, BJP people, all kind of then various kind of laws which are totally against the secular character of the nation, communal violence bill, right to education bill, ये सब हुआ। तो सबसे जरूरी है कि सत्ता में रहना। अभी सत्ता में रहना तो बीजेपी का, तो हमें तो आता नहीं संघ वालों को। हम कहते हैं जो बीजेपी करती है वो करे। अगर, और दूसरी बात, केवल बीजेपी में और आरएसएस में आप क्रिटिसाइज कर सकते हैं, बाकी जगह क्रिटिसाइज किया तो कौन खेड़ा कौन लेडी है, उसका हाल आपने देखा, गौरव का हाल देखा। तो कांग्रेस में यह हाल होता है। तो डेफिनेटली वी क्वेश्चन व्हेन वी बिलीव दैट जिसको हमने उम्र भर गालियां दी, अगर वो बीजेपी में आता है तो हमें भी कष्ट होता है। लेकिन जो इलेक्टोरल स्ट्रेटेजी है, पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रेटेजी है, उसके अंदर आरएसएस नहीं बोल सकता कि बीजेपी नोज सत्ता में रहना जरूरी है। वरना जो उनके अभी उन्होंने क्या धमकियां थे मीडिया को, हम पावर में आएंगे तो देख लेंगे, आयस को कह रहे हैं पावर में देख लेंगे।
Ratan Chatterjee, shorter answers. Professors agreeing with you. Professor, you wanted to come in quickly, and then we go to Pallavi.
Okay, I don't want to reinforce what Ratan Sharda said with respect to Ajay. See, Ajay just talked about, what happened to the BJP is that it grew suddenly very fast and it grew to astronomical proportions. This jump in the BJP and the demand it takes, the toll that it takes on the organization has to be there. But remember, BJP's experiences are also informed. What it does are also informed by its experiences 2004. We were about to win and they did not win. And in 2009, it looked absolutely listless. And the impact on the party and the nation has been very, very bad. So first things first you have to come to power. Because without power, you cannot serve. And remember, in the golden days of the BJP, Article 370 was untouchable. There was no question about Ram Mandir. UCC, NRC, you could not think about. Now we have achieved two, and I think the third is on the verge of being achieved. This has been done after the BJP apparently has lost all its ideological moorings. So this loss of ideological moorings, I think, has to be taken with a pinch of salt. Yes, the fact remains that in a large organization, that family-based organization is very nice. Small, cozy party, no chance of coming to power, but we are a nice family. The fact is, when you come to power in a country like India, you would have necessarily become a very large organization. And in that large organization, the BJP leadership has to work doubly hard to do two things. One is to maintain ideological coherence, find out what is tomorrow's program, based on the Indic values. And secondly, take up organizational reform so that the misgivings of the cadre and their opinions are better informed. So the party basically becomes more proactive and is able to perform better. That's all.
I think what Ajay ji was doing was giving us a dose of real politique, which is that the enthusiasm and motivation levels have taken a dip because of this influx, whatever be the justifications of it. I think that's really where he was coming from, and I think there's a case to be made there. Ajay ji, have I read what you're saying right?
Yes, that's precisely. See, I
Please
was
ask
not in
Pallavi
any
to
way.
speak. She's going to sleep. Pallavi, wake up.
Yeah, Pallavi. I think let Pallavi speak first.
Yes,
I'll come
yes.
back and recap
No,
what I
because
said.
I've already
Okay.
been maligned as being like a diva, but I mean, wherever I spoken, so that's okay.
You
No,
are
no,
being
carry on.
appreciated,
But-
and look at the feed on the YouTube. You are being, you are being celebrated. Look at the
Pallavi,
feed
Yeah.
in the YouTube.
we fall at your lotus feet.
Oh, Pallavi is
all
angry with us.
No, I'm not
Pallavi.
angry. It's okay. Just carry on. I'm just listening. It's fine.
No, Pallavi, you have to speak now. We're waiting.
Pallavi,
This
talk
has
about
never
Bengal.
happened. This is breaking on Sunday Club. Pallavi is upset with us.
I'm not upset. It's okay.
Pallavi,
It's just that
please speak about
it's just that
Bengal. We
I
are
don't want
very
to speak on
worried.
anything. No, I'm just
Please
listening
talk
what
about
Ajay has
Bengal.
to say.
Pallavi, honestly
Yeah.
speak about Bengal.
Yeah.
We are very worried. Can you speak about
Oh,
Bengal?
what happened? Oh, Pallavi's upset. Pallavi's never upset.
Breaking.
No one said anything to her. Did we say anything to her? No.
You called her
You didn't
diva a
allow
lot
to
of
speak.
times.
You didn't give her enough time.
Yeah. No.
I was teasing her. I hope she was not
No,
this thing.
line disconnected. She'll come back.
She'll come
No,
back.
she
She's
was
driving,
not.
I guess.
Oh my gosh. That's never happened, you know.
No,
Anyway,
get
Ajay,
back. Yeah,
please
I'll
go
just
ahead and I'll try and
I'll
get
just
Pallavi.
come back. See, what I was trying to come across as, see, obviously the Bharatiya Janata Party has been expanding its base. There is a new dynamism, a new leadership, which has its own priorities. There's no doubt about it. When we say that 370 would not have been possible in the olden eras, well, it was not possible because you did not have the Bharatiya Janata Party did not have the numerical strength. So there are two sides of the coin. I don't want to get into that. My only apprehension, which a large number of people which I have interacted with, has been that a large number of people feel that, especially let's talk about Bengal. Just Shadaji mentioned about Bengal. A large number of people within the BJP in Bengal are unhappy with the fact that Shubhendu Adhikari is actually the points person. There's no bones about it. It's very natural that he was earlier in a different political setup. He has a different equation. He doesn't give enough importance to the cadre-based people who have already been there in existence. So this sentiment is there. Now, whether this sentiment actually becomes predominant is something which time will tell. But fact of the matter is that if you call any political setup in India today as a political party, it is only BJP that comes to mind. There is no Congress as a party. Congress comes more like an NGO with 15 heads. And then when you talk about, say, Aam Aadmi Party, it is Arvind Kejriwal and nothing else. You talk about a Samajwadi Party, it is just, so there are various regional groupings which are just figureheads and the party vanishes thereafter. Post these elections, and I think after 27, the relevance of Samajwadi Party may completely cease to exist in UP.
Exactly.
Just like, Mayawati is virtually irrelevant in UP today. And after the impending elections in Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav may also lose the same relevance. Lalu is no longer there as a campaigning force, and there is nobody in the family to take over. So RJD decimates. Just like JD will decimate with Nitish Kumar, BJD will decimate with Naveen Babu. So there are but then there is a political structure with BJP which not only sustains it but obviously takes it forward. Having said that, what really is of importance today, which I feel in this Lok Sabha elections, if we were to come back to the bigger question, see, if the people have reposed the kind of faith which the exit polls today want us to really believe, which needs to be verified on 4th, then this speaks volumes about a trust factor of a political
Exactly.
setup, of a leadership, of an ideology which up till 30 years ago was barely acceptable in India. See, when I started my journey into journalism, there was nothing called a right ideology that really existed. It was much more as a discussion in drawing rooms.
Okay, folks, Pallavi is back. Ajay ji, please
Yes,
speak
please.
later.
All space to her.
Yes, Pallavi. I want to say sorry for saying Diva. I want to say it live
please.
on the show.
I am not. No.
It's just I'm missing AIM, so I had to say that to
It's
someone
just
else.
that.
I had to
It's just
focus.
that is my. See, I'll tell you what. There was another space I committed to, and then I have my office YouTube to do, so I have to dip in and dip out, and it's just that it gets too long, and so that's why I had to leave. Acha, bolo.
West
We will
Bengal,
go in
West
5 minutes.
Bengal.
I'll leave exactly in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Our common friend Rashid Kidwai said that the other side, the India Alliance, has already planned some kind of mock cabinet, like Rahul Gandhi will be PM, then someone else will be deputy PM, finance minister is Siddharamaiah.
No.
And
ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. No,
nahi?
they had
Okay.
they've not. I think he was just saying. ऐसा
No,
कुछ
no.
नहीं है, but they are actually.
Somebody asked Rashid.
1 minute, Rajiv ji, let her speak. हाँ, go ahead, Pallavi.
मैं किसी को interrupt नहीं करती. But the point is that I don't think they have drawn up any kind of cabinet. But you will be surprised. They actually believe they are winning, and I'm not joking. At that 2-hour long meeting which took place at Mr. Kharge's residence, they had a state-wise data. You must have seen those sheets of paper in their hand. They actually had data कि इस state में कितना है. They are not doing all these ministry thing. वो तो बात की बात है. They don't even know who's going to be the PM face if they win. They are 100% sure they are coming back to power, which explains the anger. I don't know if you people saw that clip of Rahul Gandhi today, which I sent it to you, Advaita. Did you listen to his sound bite? He walks away when the media is asking him, and then he walks back and he said, "This is not an exit poll. It's a Modi poll. It's an anger that you guys are going to be shown the mirror." And then in the last 24 to 48 hours today, they did those Zoom meetings with all the party workers. मैंने पूछा क्यों? They said no, because we have built up a strategy on counting day. हम हर booth पे बैठे रहेंगे. And I'm telling you, mark my words, on counting day in some key booths which are on key fights, there will be bawal. There will be hangama from their side. You just wait and watch.
Yeah, we are sure.
Pallavi, if I may just ask one question, which I'm very intrigued. This is just off the cuff. See, most of the exit polls came out with their own opinions, and Congress believes it's a Modi poll, which is actually the exit poll. Would it not be a good idea to come out with their own exit poll and say, okay, this is what it is? They already have the seat-by-seat data.
But
They've
you know
actually come
something,
out.
Ajay, Ajay, you're very interesting what you're saying. They actually have come out with an exit poll. So, and that's an internal survey. That was what was discussed yesterday. Only
Yes,
thing is that they did not release it.
To themselves in UP.
Because I was also speaking to a few people last night within the Congress, given the fact that the snide remarks were coming in a bit too often during my show. So I wanted to understand as to what is the youngest. I had first done a tweet that you've decided not to send your representatives for the television shows,
correct.
but you are sending them to YouTube channels. So they picked it up, and then I was blasted off majorly. And by then, obviously, Mallikarjun Kharge came about and said that, okay, they are sending people for the TV shows as well. Because suddenly all my Congress guests disappeared. And then they reappeared.
But Ajay, look at this. Is how funny. They decide that they're not going to take part in exit polls because it's a fraud. Within 24 hours later, by which time they gave an issue on a platter to the BJP, where Amit Shah, everyone started mocking कि ये लोग डर गए, and they've done this on the day before polling. Yeah. Just imagine a kind of narrative which was said by the BJP that these people are scared. And after polling is over, then they decide we'll take part in exit poll. It just made them look silly. Now, see, if we keep telling them this, they'll call us Godi. But somewhere you need to look at the mirror and understand why. If they have decided that we exit poll mein nahi participate karenge, they should stuck to that decision, na?
Yes. Acha, the best part is during the conversations, which was late in the evening, most of them said, "इस seat पे हमको इतना vote मिल रहा है." That's the kind of confidence. Like Manish Tiwari, I'm putting few names too. Manish Tiwari is confident of a victory. And he's actually saying this is the margin with which I am winning.
But that opinion poll says no. Exit poll दिखा
Yeah,
रहा है कि मनीष
exit
तिवारी
poll
जीत
दिखा
रहा
रहा
है.
है कि he's ahead.
They are coming out with exact number of, not percentage, number of votes.
No, I
This is
don't
the
think
poll
Number of
that I am
votes. They've
winning.
done their own exit poll. I'm telling you. They've done their
And
own exit
Pallavi,
poll.
yesterday,
See, they have a well-oiled machinery. Yeah, there's Sunil Konagalu. In सबका team जो है ना, they're on the ground. They're doing it. And this is
Look,
just
Pallavi,
circulated internally.
what
They
are you
don't reveal
talking,
it.
yaar? They didn't have their polling agents sitting in the booths on the day of polling in Delhi. At least I know.
Sir, मुझे वो नहीं
Where could
पता.
they get
But
the
मैं इतना
people
आपको
well
कह
oiled
सकती
machinery
हूँ,
on the ground?
they've done their exit polls. I know this for a fact. I'm 100% sure
then
they
why
have done
aren't
an
they
exit poll.
sharing those? Then why aren't they
They
sharing
don't
those
now
numbers?
because there are two reasons. One, they are going to say that this is an internal survey. Why do we need to share? Second is in case these exit polls go wrong, then they're going to show their own exit poll by saying, "Hey, look, this was us, and this is what we had." So they're bidding their time. Now, no one wants egg on their face. Suppose these exit polls turn out to be correct, and I think they are going to be correct.
And one more question. Yesterday, you raised the fact that Mamta, there was polling going on in her state, but they still had that big India Alliance meeting, and they chose Kejriwal's presence over
They
Mamta's
did it for
presence.
Kejriwal. They did it for
Correct.
Kejriwal.
So,
They said.
Didi is quite particular about these things. So have there been any ripples post that?
See, they haven't said anything officially, but when I spoke to the TMC leaders, they said, look, this is another example on when they're slighting us. When they knew we wouldn't come, and Bengal for us is more important than anything else. And because these are those critical seats, I'm voting, all of us are voting, and our biggest enemy is the BJP, and we are fighting the BJP. These people decide to hold a meeting, which means they don't even respect our fight against the BJP, which is what the India bloc is all about.
See, in any case,
Can I
Mamata
ask one
Banerjee said
question?
that she might
Can
end
I,
up
can I
supporting
ask
the
one
government
question
from
to
outside
both the
if all it
mainstream
falls.
journalists?
Yes,
Sorry,
Rajiv, please ask. Pallavi can
अजय और पल्लवी, आप दोनों में से कोई भी इसका I mean anybody can take this.
Didn't get your question, sir.
YouTubers, how have they played their role for the Congress, or I mean ditching the Congress or the diverting the Congress from the mainstream?
I think Pallavi should go first. I'll go second.
Yeah, I'll quickly answer and then I'll leave because I saw it myself in Amethi. I mean, I mentioned this earlier on the Sunday Club show. I mean, we know who I'm talking about. Ajay, you know. I mean, you and I have worked with him, I think. And, like everything was going fine. And the narrative was that Smriti is much ahead. And suddenly this person lands who's a YouTuber and back-to-back shows. And many of them turned out. And Amethi ke local reporters told us that, he's not even talking to the real people. He's not talking to the farmers. He's actually talking to party workers sitting in the field or something like that to make it out to look. Suddenly the narrative became about, oh, Smriti is losing. And then they tweet. Then the YouTube gets traction. Then their clips are taken out and peddled to WhatsApp. And there are 5-6 familiar names which we know by now. Just go into a social media handle. They put out those clips. Dhruv Rathi and all of them have now been outsourced. They keep on doing it. That's how they try to color the opinion, which need not be. So the point is, suppose a person X goes there and talks to 10 people, and all 10 say, okay, we are going to vote for Smriti, हमें BJP के लिए vote आना है. That person is going to be called Godi. If another person Y goes and interviews another 10 people who say, no, we are not going to vote for Smriti, she's going to be losing, then that is called upright journalism. This is my problem. This is where you're influencing the procedure. First of all, one thumb rule which we were always taught, and Ajay, you know this, we are not supposed to ask voters who we are going to go and vote for. There's a convoluted way of trying to extract information. Will you vote for development? Are you voting for change? What is it that you need? You are not supposed to directly ask because that's not even supposed to be told. Voting is supposed to be a secret ballot. But these people are very head on. Acha, wo aise karti hai. Then tana maar ke they'll taunt. Then they'll ask a question. So you are extracting that information and you're using it, and then the clips bana ke, then they circulate it. That's how it's done.
Even yesterday, Pallavi, there was this narrative swirling around that Smriti is very upset.
I told you about it, remember?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
jokes
so
apart,
But the
You know
access,
why
India
why
today
I
think that she has
asked
an
this
edge.
question is
One at a time. One at a time.
या
Ratan
वन डे बस
Rajiv.
इसका एक कनेक्टिंग है इसका। एक दिन सुबह सुबह 6:30 बजे माहौल ठीक करने के लिए एक व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज आया किसी एक यूट्यूबर का, एंड विद इन दिस सेकेंड्स इट वाज टेकन बैक, I mean, it was deleted. So I tried calling him up. He didn't pick my phone. I sent him a voice note कि ये आपने क्या भेज करके डिलीट कर दिया। बोले नहीं नहीं, वो आपके लिए नहीं था, आपके नाम राशि के मित्र हैं, उनके लिए था। तो वो मेरे पास वॉइस नोट सेव। तो मुझे दैट मोमेंट आई रियलाइज देयर इज अ नेटवर्क एंड एन इकोसिस्टम दैट इज ऑफ द यूट्यूबर्स आल्सो व्हिच इज गोइंग अराउंड. So is that true? I mean, they share data,
Yes.
they share video clips, they share everything.
See, Rajiv ji, it's a very clear way in which things have been organized. Let me first put it on record by saying that YouTube as a platform is just a medium. So holding YouTube per se really responsible for this may not really hold good for all of us. Otherwise, how do people like us also reach to the viewers? This is a digital alternate platform which is away from television, mainstream media. This is in your hand. Having said that, see, there is a complete ecosystem which has been built, which is successively working as it has worked prior to 2020 elections in the US. A similar narrative has been built up in India. It was tried well and proper in 2019, was in a formative stage at that point of time. Post 2019, if you see, the alternate narrative which inbreeds within the ecosystem is huge. The moment we talk about toolkits, the promotionals, short clips, all this is shared. These are small groups, they are dedicated groups, they cross promote each other. There is a huge amount of inbreeding, and they work like a pack of wolves. A pack of wolves is the best way to describe this particular group that hounds you out, or that actually works with the system. Everybody resonates with a similar line of thought, a similar language. The language is base, crass, absolutely down with, unacceptable with Indian ethos. Having said that, what do? They try to create an atmosphere, a stratosphere, where everybody would tend to believe that whatever is being bombarded on the social media platforms is the reality. However, the saner voices understand. See, if there is a lot of write-up which has been done on international media where they say that this is one of the first India's YouTube elections, where a lot of narrative was set up on the YouTube, information was decimated, and most people watch television channels also via YouTube at their own leisure. So yes, it's a YouTube election, no doubt about it. Just like 14 was a WhatsApp election. This is a YouTube election. But the narrative that you set here does not percolate down to the masses and does not convert into votes at all. This is something which the Congress party refuses to believe. Look at the kind of funding that they get. You are saying, is there a group? I am saying they are getting political funding. There should be a proper declaration from a YouTuber whether you are getting political funding or not. Why shouldn't it be? Where you are being taken abroad on trips. You are going abroad on public funded money. Who's funding your trips? Who's funding your agenda? Who are the viewership? Let's talk about also in YouTube. The statistics give you which geographical area do you cater to, which is the kind of audience you cater to. Do you cater to Indian audiences? Do you cater to audiences abroad? The lopsided strategy by which YouTube works is that if you are living in the US, the value of your viewership is much higher. You get a much higher payment for a viewer in US than you get it for a viewer in India. That is a lopsided policy. Having said that, the kind of money that they're supposed to make is also huge. And all this is being propagated by the ecosystem. So this is, मैं आपके लिए बेनिफिट दे रहा हूं, आपको प्लेटफॉर्म दे रहा हूं, सजा के दे रहा हूं, पैसे भी दे रहा हूं. अब आप मेरा भोंपू बनिए और भोंपू बन के काम कीजिए. ऐसे लोगों को तो नेचुरली इस सिस्टम से वीड आउट करने की बहुत जरूरत है. अदरवाइज दे आर नथिंग बट, हम जो पुराने जमाने में कहते थे हिंदी में, भाण.
Let me add to
इसके अलावा
what
और कुछ
Ajay
नहीं.
is saying.
Only
Can
word
I just, on the Sunday Club, we are very, very pro Indie Alliance, like really pro. Okay, call
क्या
me.
पता कल क्या हो जाए, क्या पता कल क्या हो जाए.
See,
You should
hands
also,
down,
you should also make a
hands
declaration
down, I
whether
have
you are
already
getting
said it.
technical funding
I have
or
called
not.
them bhand, so it's okay.
Okay. You see, I'll just add to
No,
what Ajay ji
Advaita
said.
doesn't subscribe to the review, right, Advaita?
Acha.
You don't
Please
subscribe
like,
to that review.
subscribe, share. Yeah,
I-
over 3,000 views.
I'll just add to what Ajay ji said. You see, the 2014 elections marked the time where social media took salience, particularly in the BJP's campaign. The problem with the Congress is they took a symptom as a determinant of popularity and they started throwing good money after bad, after these so-called social media influencers and distorted the system completely. Now, this is actually a reflection on the comfort zone that decision makers in the Congress have gotten themselves into. The old-fashioned way of getting out and mobilizing for vote, that's gone. You're influencing, you're trying to fund influencers who basically work up a froth. It shows up in the statistics, and everybody thinks that Dhuvrati is winning the election for the Congress. And that, I think, is a tragedy because at the end of the day, the Congress is a national party. If that national party disintegrates as fast as it is doing, it has implications for our polity. Those implications are not always positive. One of the things that I like in the Punjab elections is that the two major parties are two national parties, the Congress and the BJP. That's a plus. For a Congress, for a national party to disintegrate, so far it has done, is not good for the unity and integrity of India. And I think I regret what the Congress has come to. This is something that has to be said.
Advaita, if you remember in
I
somewhere in the
support the Congress.
conversation,
Yes, go ahead, Ratan Shahadar ji.
see, if you remember,
On
I said
that
in the
note, I
conversation
should take an
earlier on
exit.
that
Yes.
social media
The
can
anchor is
succeed
biased.
Anchor is biased. I protest.
only boycott.
No, having said that, I'm sorry. I have to leave. I have a show to attend to, so I need
Thank
to
you.
just
Thank
head
you
back
so
to the
much,
Thank you so
Ajay
much.
ji.
Great
It's
I
a
hope
insights.
you'll
pleasure.
be
Thank you
back
so
with
much.
us on the 4th if you find time on the 4th.
I'll definitely try my best. Thank
And we
you.
had a great
Thanks.
viewership today, over 3,000 people still with us. Please like the stream. Okay?
Ajay ji will host us in FCC after the fourth
Done.
results.
Absolutely.
See, what
See
I'm
you. Bye.
saying was
Bye.
that I had said earlier also social media supports only if you got legs on the field. It will not on its own vacuum work in the social, as I said, celebrities, all this viewership don't convert to votes. They convert to votes. You've got people on the street. Now that is not happening with the Congress or many other parties. Yes, regional parties have their local support, their caste and all that. This is the reason why the dreamland doesn't come to a truth. That is the reason. Now coming to very, very serious issue, this deliberate distortion of exit polls, of the actual counting, you'll find 4th June not to be comfortable at all. There'll be objections at most of the booths. There'll be protests. There'll be loud some skirmishes because they want to somehow discredit the election itself. They realize they have not been able to pass on this EVM business. Today itself in the afternoon, in a debate, AAP lady was continuously saying, Supreme Court ने कहते तो क्या हो गया? ये भी हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है. It went on and somebody from the Congress said, some other opposition party said, इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट करके आप मैनिपुलेट कर सकते हैं ईवीएम. भैया किसी ने इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट किया 10 लाख ईवीएम मशीन्स, 10 lakh booths or 5 lakh booths, each booth having let us say two machines. Imagine how many people you require. There are agents in the booth. The booths are sealed. You need people to personally, hack each and every machine, have a new chip installed. And if you go by internet, how would they show a connection? If EC has called them to come to board, Supreme Court asked them to prove, nothing proved, just keep on creating. So it's very dangerous. 4th June can be very problematic because they somehow want to discredit the entire institutional system that done it earlier also.
I just hope it doesn't get violent.
The best interview in this regard is
it won't be violent in the sense, but it will create a very anarchic situation where they'll keep on creating objections every stage. Results won't come fast. They will put in objections. They will try to create doubt in the mind of the people. That's why this continuous hedging of the exit polls, my own exit poll, and we don't believe in EM, despite Supreme Court lashing at them. They keep on saying this very dangerous trend because इलेक्शन कमीशन सही नहीं है, ईवीएम
Ratan
सही
ji,
नहीं
let
है.
professor also speak.
Ratan ji, let Professor speak.
the best interview in this regard is Dr. Qureshi's interview to Ajit Anjum. You know, all those fantasies and fears that Ajit Anjum mentioned were absolutely set to rest by Dr. Qureshi. Brilliant interview where he says how hacking of the EVMs is impossible and nobody can accuse Dr. Qureshi of being a supporter of the government. You know,
Yeah.
one should basically, the government should actually make that interview far more viral than it is now. Step by step, he says how it is absolutely impossible to hack an EVM machine.
Okay. And on that note, Kuldeep, don't be so angry. He's saying any anchor who supports the present Congress doesn't deserve a like. Wish she would show the Gandhis and gang the mirror instead. Wow.
Where is
That's
the money?
hard.
But you should also declare how much money you are getting from political party.
Oh,
See, some people ask me, what
anyway,
about AAP? Can you give 5 minutes to AAP? We can pay condolences to AAP in next 5
why,
minutes.
why don't we give 10 minutes to AAP tomorrow?
नहीं 2 मिनट का साइलेंस रख लूं मैं.
हाँ, 2 minutes. But I think we did go off topic, but it was such an interesting discussion. It had everything. And I really want to thank all of you for joining us this Sunday Club. And we had really great viewership. So, guys, please go like, share, subscribe to the channel. Keep us going with your support because that's the only thing we get. And frankly, that's the only thing we want. So, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, and we shall see you
Thanks.
soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Advita.